Hi everyone, I'm Jamie, and welcome to EPT English Podcast Topics, the show where we discuss fascinating topics to spark your curiosity, and maybe even learn something new along the way. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Mia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maya, and today we're exploring something that's both deeply personal and universal: the connection between memory and identity.
This is a topic that runs deep. How much of who we are comes from what we remember? And can we really separate ourselves from our past experiences? Our memories shape us, but are they always accurate? How much control do we actually have over them?
Exactly. Memories aren't just things we look back on, they influence our decisions, our beliefs, even the way we see ourselves. Think about it. Why do we hold on to some memories and let others fade? And what does that mean for who we are?
It's interesting you bring that up, Mia. I was reading about how memories are selective, how we subconsciously pick and choose certain events to remember more vividly, while others get left behind. Sometimes, what we remember the most may not even be the most accurate. The brain fills in gaps, alters details over time, sometimes based on how we're feeling or what we've come to believe about ourselves.
Yes, it's fascinating. It's like our memory is less of a hard drive, storing data, and more of a creative process. We don't remember everything exactly as it happened. Instead, our minds are constantly reshaping memories, editing and adjusting, like an ongoing story we're telling ourselves. And those stories, they become our identity.
Right. That makes me think of something from literature. Have you read Beloved by Toni Morrison?
I have. Morrison uses memory almost as a character in the story, especially with Sethi, who can't escape her traumatic past. Her memories aren't just something she reflects on, they have real physical presence in her life. It's haunting.
Morrison's saying something really powerful about memory, though, isn't she? That some experiences stay with us whether we want them to or not. Seeth's memories are inescapable, they influence her every decision and even her relationships. It's like she's trapped by them.
Exactly. And I think Morrison is showing us something that's true for everyone, not just those with traumatic memories. In a way, we're all shaped by what we remember, even if those memories are subtle or everyday things. It's part of why some people feel that they can never fully move on from certain parts of their past.
And that raises the question, can we ever really move beyond our past? Or are we always carrying parts of it, whether we realize it or not?
Well, think of it this way: our identities are built on layers. Every experience adds a layer, every memory builds on the last. And even if we're not actively thinking about certain memories, they're there in the background, influencing our actions, our values, our outlook on life.
That makes sense. It's almost like every memory is a thread in the fabric of our identity. We might not see every thread individually, but together they create a whole.
Right, but here's where it gets complicated. Memory isn't just about the past. It's actively shaping our present, and maybe even our future. When we hold on to certain memories, they influence our choices going forward. That's why two people can go through similar experiences and come out with completely different outlooks on life.
So then, maybe memory isn't really about looking back at all. Maybe it's more like a lens through which we see everything else. For example, think about someone who went through something difficult early on. Maybe they were always moving from place to place as a kid. That experience can lead to either a sense of resilience or a feeling of restlessness in adulthood, depending on how they interpret it.
Yes, and that interpretation can change too. Sometimes we look back and see something differently as we grow and learn. I think that's where we get some freedom. If our memories can shift with time, maybe our identity can too. We're not necessarily locked into who we are based on the past.
We'll take a short break now to explore some related vocabulary words that will enhance our understanding of today's topic. Influence, meaning the power to shape or affect something, such as how memories shape identity. Example, memories have a strong influence on how we see ourselves. Selective, meaning choosing certain things and not others. In this context, how we remember some experiences more than others. Example, memory is selective, so we often recall moments that left the biggest impact. Interpret, meaning to explain or understand the meaning of something, especially experiences or memories. Example, how we interpret a memory can change how it affects us. Perspective, meaning a particular way of viewing things shaped by experiences and memories. Example, our perspective on life is shaped by the memories we hold on to. Healing, meaning talking about memories can be a step toward healing and understanding ourselves. Example, healing takes time.
That's a good point. It's almost like we're constantly revising the narrative of who we are. And I suppose the process of reflecting on our past, whether it's through talking about it, like we're doing now, or even writing or therapy, can reshape our sense of self.
I think that's why people find so much healing in therapy. It's a way of confronting and sometimes even reshaping those memories. By talking through them, we're able to see them from a new perspective. It can give us the chance to understand ourselves better or even change how we relate to those memories.
Yeah, and maybe that's one way we can change, by actively choosing to reshape our memories and how they affect us. But Mia, I wonder, do you think there's a limit to that? Are there some things that just stick with us no matter what?
That's a tough one. I'd like to think we can always find ways to heal or grow from our past, but maybe some experiences are harder to reshape. Sometimes it's not about forgetting or changing a memory, but learning to live with it differently so it doesn't hold as much power over us.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Accepting what we can't change, but also being willing to let go of the grip that some memories have. It's like we're always negotiating with our past to make peace with it.
Exactly. I think of it like carrying a backpack. Our memories are the items inside. Some are light and easy to carry, and we hardly notice them. But others are heavy. We can't remove everything, but we can choose to adjust how we carry it. Maybe that's where we find our identity, in learning to balance what we carry and deciding what matters most to us.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. And I suppose that's why we say memory is central to identity. We're always carrying some part of our past, but how we choose to carry it and how we make sense of it, that's what makes us who we are.
So maybe the intersection of memory and identity is really about choice. It's about choosing to engage with our past in a way that allows us to grow, rather than letting it control us. That doesn't mean forgetting, but maybe understanding.
That feels like a powerful takeaway. We're not just the sum of our memories, we're also the sum of our choices and how we respond to those memories.
Absolutely. I think that's the key. And it's a reminder that we're constantly evolving. Just because a memory has shaped us doesn't mean it defines us completely.
Well said, Mia. This has been a really enlightening conversation. I feel like we could talk about this for hours, but it's probably time to wrap up.
Definitely. Thanks so much for joining us on Thoughtful Conversations, everyone. We hope this discussion has given you some new ways to think about your own memories and how they shape who you are.
And remember, you're not just defined by your past. You're also defined by how you interpret it and what you choose to carry forward.
Let us know in the comments below, and feel free to suggest any topics you'd like us to explore next. We're always looking for fresh ideas and love hearing what you're interested in.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with anyone who might enjoy the conversation.
We'll see you next time with more exciting discussions. Take care, and remember, your story matters.